Our officials this afternoon: Brian Dorsey in his 27th year, Bert Smith in his 32nd, Jeb Hartness in his 23rd. Combined, these three gentlemen, 52 NCAA tournaments officiated, including 3 Final Fours. And look at this with the scoring coming into this afternoon.
Yeah, these are two very balanced teams. I don't know how many college games you see where all 10 starters average double figures.
It's the Wildcats who took care of Troy, winning by 19. They hit 10 threes. Brea with a 3. And the rebound snared by Trey White with the Illini beating 11 seed Xavier 86-73, hitting 12 threes themselves. It's Riley for 3. And a Kentucky rebound pulled down by Amari Williams. Riley was terrific against Xavier on Friday with 22 points. It's Carr and Williams.
We'll see that all night. When Amari Williams rebounds, he will push the ball on the break, and they will play through him.
It's Carr barreling his way down the lane for Kentucky. Rebound, Ivisic.
Wow, didn't we say these teams were prolific offensive teams? Not so far.
Maybe feeling the moment a little bit right now. The stakes are high. Ivisic on top. Illinois has won 5 of their last 6. Ivisic with a 3. Rebound is fought for. They're on the floor. Jonas will save it. And the Illini will control.
That's something that Brad Underwood talked about yesterday, that they can win the game on the glass.
It's a steal by the defensive-minded Butler to Brea.
And that's been a problem for Jonas in 3 postseason games, 2 in the Big Ten tournament, and then the other day he's had 6 turnovers in each game.
And Kentucky definitely thought in their preparation that they could turn him over some, but they've got to be able to deal with this pick and roll from Illinois with Jonas and Ivisic.
Wow. Nice move on the run there by the Lithuanian Kasparas Jonas, one of the best freshmen, not just in the conference, but in college basketball overall.
Well, and he uses that snake dribble, we call it, makes it impossible for the guard to get back in front.
Williams on the doorstep, had trouble converting the other night. Works inside here on Ivisic. Shot clock with which to work, in time to set up with Brea on the top.
And I think they need to attack Ivisic inside with Williams.
Kentucky has won 4 of their last 5. Look at Brea fly, exploding for 2.
Well, Brea is one of the best three-point shooters in the country. In the top 10, led the nation a year ago, but he has added to his game the ability to play off the dribble.
Somebody's got to come and help out.
Good cut, Riley. Good feed, Ivisic. And a foul called on the Cats. Underneath. Kentucky pulls it up.
Well, here's this snake dribble. He snakes over to the other side, forcing the switch and able to get space. But then Brea right by him at the other end to lay it in.
Oweh will pick up his first.
That's a really tough matchup for Oweh. He's a really good defender, but Riley's got 3 or 4 inches on him. And what you have to do with Riley, I think, he can handle the ball with his left hand, but you have to make him go left because he's really, really good going right.
Well, and that was a big, big point that assistant coach Mark Fox made yesterday in preparing Kentucky, is that they had to take away his right hand. So certainly the Kentucky staff not happy with that possession.
Kentucky comes in 23-11. In the SEC, they were 10-8. Best conference in the country. And carving his way inside Williams. Ivisic was right there. Rebound by Riley.
And Ivisic is sometimes prone to fouling, and if you can get him on the bench in foul trouble, that really hurts Illinois' offense. And that's why he's such a great passer.
And he makes their offense go. He's the hub. He's the reason they are what they are offensively, in my opinion. 1 assist and 1 that doesn't count as an assist, but got Riley the free throw already.
Brea takes it down low. Jonas is on him. On top, Williams. Ivisic waits. Otega cuts. And Oweh will put it in. That's a foul. Count it for 2.
Well, Williams is a great passer also. Now, he doesn't have Ivasic's ability to shoot the ball on the perimeter, but we got two of the best passing big men in the country in this game, Dan.
Ivasic picks up number 1.
Ivasic, that's a great pass, and you just saw on that layup by Owe, a foul on Ivasic.
Kentucky going to go to the bench here. Colin Chandler, who is a freshman from Utah, taking the place of Lamont Butler. Butler was, of course, with that San Diego State team and a Final Four participant with the Aztecs. Now a Kentucky Wildcat.
And Kentucky plays a lot of guys. Nobody on this team plays more than 28 minutes, so guys are rotating in and out all the time.
Jonas with a 2-point shot. Just missed a triple-double on Friday night in the Illini win. Owe Williams down low, up top. A 3-point shot here. Chandler
hit a couple threes the other night. Hits his first one here tonight on another assist from Amari Williams.
He missed 2 years because he was on a Mormon mission, and in his last 9 games, his minutes, point shooting percentage, everything has gone way up.
Owe with the steal. Owe will gallop. And on the move, he can't get it to go. Lunging in, it's off Kentucky. 15:30 in the first half. Back and forth we go. The winner to the Sweet 16, Kentucky and Illinois. And a sharp-shooting freshman from Farmington, Utah, puts it down. Early 4-point lead for the 3rd seed, Kentucky Wildcats. On our sideline this afternoon, we send it over to Lauren Shahade. Hey, Lauren.
Kevin, we always talk about evaluating talent, and for one assistant coach on Illinois, he has the eye, and he has single-handedly changed the complexion of 3 separate teams in the NCAA tournament. Listen to this. Orlando Antigua was with Kentucky, brought Tomislav's brothers Vonimir to coach Cal, so when Orlando got the job at Illinois, grabbed Tomislav, said, love the genetics. Just one issue. Orlando's daughter, Olivia, graduated from Kentucky, so we asked who she cheered for today. Orlando said, well, she loves the Wildcats. She loves her dad slightly more, I think.
We think, yeah. Good stuff, Lauren. We thank you. And Owe a long shot, tip in try. Williams gets it to go.
Well, turnovers already becoming a problem for Illinois. 3 already, and this is against a Kentucky team that doesn't force turnovers. 340th in the country in turnovers forced.
Jonas passing in traffic. The collision there with Humrickhouse, who is now in for Ivasic. Morez Johnson is in 2. Couple substitutions for the Illini. Williams a screen. Brea is free to fire.
Boy, I mean, Brad Underwood really upset. You've got to put more pressure on him. That a 9-0 Kentucky run built on Illinois turnovers, and Brea, we mentioned he's a 3-point shooter, but coming off that screen, there's nobody anywhere near him. Kentucky off to a very good start. Well, and Lamont Butler's a guy who can steal the ball, so is Otega Owe, but it's funny, these turnovers have been by Illinois on routine plays. It's not like Kentucky's been making spectacular plays to get the turnovers. Illinois has really got to settle down.
Absolutely. Kentucky's a team that does not force turnovers.
Ivasic is in, spinning on Carr. Rebound through the hands of Carr, collected by Ivasic. Underneath for Johnson. Got it to go, and a foul. And now they're playing the 2 big stand for the Illini at the same time up front.
They are, and another great pass by Ivasic there. He misses, he's able to get it back. Look at this pass to Morez Johnson, who does all of his damage around the basket.
The great thing about that pass, he faked up, everybody's hands went up, and then he just slid the pass around the waist area of Amari Williams. Or excuse me, Garrison.
Morez Johnson, a freshman from Riverdale, Illinois, broke his wrist in February. Didn't finish out the regular season. The cast came off. He was ready to go, and here he is in his 2nd NCAA tournament game. Very talented freshman, great size. Gibbs Longhorn is now in for the Illini. The only returning player, Gibbs Longhorn, who right now is watching Chandler, who maneuvers. And Garrison with a 3. And a rebound by White.
Garrison, a 32% 3-point shooter. Doesn't shoot a lot of them. Made 1 the other day, 1 for 3 against Troy.
Trey White bullying his way inside. Loose, grabbed by Carr, lost it there. Brea's got it. And on the fly, they've got Butler playing with a bad left shoulder. Big harness on that. You can see it. But he's got Final Four experience. Butler will take it in. From tip-off to the final buzzer. Fan work is thirsty work. Refresh with Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever?
Look, as a Diet Coke fan, I can't buy that that's the best Coke ever.
As a big-time sponsor?
Yes.
Come on,
but
Coke Zero.
it's the same company, though. So
Let the program stand.
Yeah.
no, it's the same company, though. And look, I mean,
Hello. Yes. President of Coca-Cola Stan is right here. Let me talk.
he'll be happy I'm promoting another product of his.
Riley's got it on top. He had the gigantic game on Friday. Ivisic a three. And the other night, it was Ivisic connecting from outside with 4 threes for the Illini.
And listen, his shooting and passing changes the whole equation for Illinois.
That's a tough matchup outside for Williams.
They want to veer back a late switch on that when they have to.
Almanor gets it off to Williams. Johnson's got the rebound. It's Boswell the other way for the Illini. Ivisic a three. Rebound Johnson. And a foul on Kentucky.
Morez Johnson, one of the best offensive rebounders in the country. But here's Ivisic. When the big gets dragged off that far, when Williams is that far off, Chandler's got to switch that and get back to Ivisic.
Oweh just picked up his second foul for the Cats. And he's going to come out. And they're going to bring in freshman Trent Noah.
And that could really hurt Kentucky. He's so athletic and so important to their offense. But Williams is a shot blocker, so he's going to go after the guy with the ball.
Freshman against freshman. And the Kentucky freshman knocked it away. That was Chandler. He's already hit a three. He's come off the bench, and he has it right now. Williams on top. Williams played 4 years at Drexel. Almanor. Butler, a three.
Well, that's Butler's first bucket. He did not score the other day against Troy.
He was 0 of 5.
Yeah,
but his presence on the floor, Dan, is huge.
He is an elite defender, and he really keeps Kentucky organized.
Johnson on top with the pump fake, goes right into Williams in the paint. And Williams collects the rebound. 4 for him.
You're going at Williams, you're thinking about it, I guarantee you.
Hurtling down the lane, Williams got it.
This is where Williams is so good. Taking the ball off the glass, going coast to coast, and leading the break. Look at this move, little inside-out move on Morris Johnson. Draws the foul and converts. And here's Butler. They go under. He knocks down the three. Kentucky by 8.
Moments ago, Lauren Shahadi caught up with the first-year head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, Mark Pope.
Coach, fast start for you. What side of the ball stands out?
Well, I like how our guys are kind of communicate on defensive end. We have some complicated ball interchange actions that we have to guard, and our guys have done a nice job with the exception of one possession where we really communicated well.
Appreciate it, Coach.
As Johnson picked up his first foul, Williams, who is a little unsteady at the line, is up there for the Kentucky Wildcats, and Riley's got the ball.
Yeah, 1 for 5 the other day from the free throw line against Troy. Misses his first one tonight.
Kentucky has 5 steals already to none for Illinois thus far.
And you see what they did there. Kentucky, they switched immediately and then were able to get changed and switched back.
They go inside. Boswell with Williams there. Shot clock at 3. Yakachonis. He teed one up from distance and couldn't get it, and Williams will collect it. And the other way, Butler right through traffic with speed. Almanor. And back on top to Williams.
Nice defensive adjustment by Kentucky and great execution.
Williams the miss. Then Humrickhouse, who comes from the Missouri Valley Conference in Evansville. A transfer is in. And Yakachonis, a freshman, to the fellow freshman Riley. #1 player to come out of Canada and sign with the Illini.
And you see Kentucky switched right away, but then Almanor took Ivisic on the roll and bumped Butler back out to the perimeter.
Shot clock at 4. Ivisic a 3 down the hatch.
What a great play by Yakachonis to just give him the ball right back.
It's Lamont Butler.
If you're Kentucky, you can't leave him. They had rotated to him and then left him.
Oh, he knifes his way in for two.
Butler, I mean, he's noted for his defense and playmaking ability, but he's off to a really good offensive start.
It's his 5th consecutive NCAA tournament. Another Kentucky steal. They've got 6. Brea the other way.
Another lazy pass.
Yeah, they've got to handle the ball better. This is not a Kentucky team known for forcing turnovers. Should be able to take care of the ball and get shots up.
Trent Noah was curling, the freshman, and fouled in the play by Riley. It is the first against Riley.
And you got to credit Kentucky here. They're really doing a nice job. Brea gets tangled up in that screen, but fights through, and then just a really weak pass. And how about Butler finding his way through that traffic?
Well, and look, you've got to know now, if you're Kentucky, that they are switching all of those screens down there. So the guy that was on you is going to veer back into that passing lane.
Brea locked and loaded. It's the biggest lead for the Wildcats.
Well, he is a great shooter. Not a good shooter, a great shooter, and he never turns the ball over. This guy's got a chance to be a very good complimentary player at the next level. When you turn the ball over once every 60 minutes and shoot 45% from 3, you got a chance to be really, really good.
Well, particularly when you move so well without the ball, and that ball is gone the moment it touches his hand.
Yeah, he's got a great quick release, but that was also an excellent screen by Brandon Garrison. Kentucky executing at a very high level.
Lamont Butler will check out. He just picked up his first personal foul. Like we said, Butler playing in his 5th consecutive NCAA tournament. A lot of experience for the Wildcats. Riley, he'll work here on Garrison, and that is a foul with 9:21 to go in the first half. And so far, the Big 12, 9-2. They got 3 of those teams going to the Sweet 16. John Calipari beating Rick Pitino yesterday. And Florida, the #1 seed, is advancing over the defending champion UConn Huskies. Brea, top 10 in the country, 3-point shooting percentage. Humrickhouse, the rebound. Yakachonis leads the team in scoring. Off to Ivisic and a 3. Down he goes. It's on Kentucky.
Well, that's an interesting one because they switched the screen, and then it's the much bigger Brandon Garrison fouling Yakachonis on the board. You see the switch. Chandler, Ivisic still able to get it off, but Yakachonis is a very good offensive rebounder.
Garrison picks up his first personal foul. Ivisic looking to get the cutting. Riley, ball coughed up. Another turnover for Illinois.
That was a very optimistic attempt at a pass. He threw that into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they've got to make simple plays. They've got to get shots on goal right now.
Noah from Garrison.
That's 14 points in the paint for Kentucky. You're Illinois. You just got to get shots right now.
It's also 14 points off turnovers.
Down low, Trey White. Illinois led the Big Ten in scoring, number 11 in all of college basketball. Yakachonis, Ivisic, foul. Carr was there along with Chandler as they were defending for the Cats. The officials talk it over. It's going to go on Chandler.
Well, right here is Noah, and he's just going to take and cut back door, and Yakachonis just, it looks like he's trying to deny the ball, and he gets caught halfway in between one or the other, and there's no help there at all.
When you have big guys who can pass the ball, you can really run good offense. That's 4 assists already for the Kentucky centers, 3 from Williams, 1 from Garrison.
Ivisic on Friday at 20 points, 10 rebounds. Dan, another double-double, but it's been his journey this year in his first year in the Illinois program with illness and injury. Battled mononucleosis. He only practiced a couple times over a 5-week span. I mean, he really is now just getting his footing.
Well, he really is. He had mononucleosis, and then when he came back from that, he hurt his ankle, and then when he came back from that, he got the flu. And so it was a really tough stretch for him. And in fact, for the whole Illinois team, they had guys sick all over the place. And they're certainly going to be sick when they look at the tape of this first half so far.
Noah making a move. Whistle blows away from the ball. So on the bench, without one of their top performers, is Jackson Robinson. He is out. He's helping him coach a little bit. He's studying more tape than ever. He's played at Texas A&M, Arkansas, BYU, but he is out. And the second leading scorer, they miss him.
Oh, yeah, second leading scorer, second best three-point shooter. Gives them size at the guard position and a lot more depth. Huge loss for them.
Chandler 3. Out of bounds, it's off Illinois.
That was a deep three from Chandler.
Timeout on the floor, 8 minutes to go in the first half. The winner will take on Tennessee in the Sweet 16. Cats by 10 on CBS. Illinois trailing by 10. You see the shooting right there. Last year, Illinois went to the Elite Eight. They're trying to get back to the Sweet 16. Our Lauren Shahadi caught up with Brad Underwood moments ago.
Coach, 14 points off turnovers. How do you take care of the ball?
Take care of it. They're all almost all of them are unforced. They've knocked the ball out of our hands. No excuse for that. That's just got to be. We got to be tougher. We're getting good shots when we get them. We just can't give them easy runouts. We can't give them extra opportunities. Take care of the ball.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Butler back on top. Inside, the cutting Chandler. Doubled and rejected inside by Ivisic. He's got 2 blocks. Yakachonis, Riley on the move. And the Illini will set up.
Ivisic has 2 blocks, 2 assists, and 2 made threes. He is a prototypical center of the modern game.
Riley with the ball, off the bench most of the season. Yakachonis has been starring. Him and Cooper Flagg have similar numbers. The only 2 freshmen in that category. That's knocked away by Williams on the shot by Riley. And 4 seconds on the shot clock. So after the interview with Lauren, he went in to say hello to his team.
Well, he was a lot nicer to Lauren than to his team. But Lauren hadn't turned it over 8 times.
Ivisic at 3. It's Butler on the move. Brea on one side, Carr on the other. He'll put on the brakes and find Carr underneath Williams. Fumbled it away. It's a turnover for Kentucky.
It's only their second one. It's the biggest difference in the game right now. 6 turnover differential.
Did you see what Boswell did? He looked back and saw that Ivisic was laying down, and he waited for him to get back.
Tip in, off the side, parachuting in, Boswell.
Well, Boswell, I said it the other day, he's a power forward in a point guard's body. Great rebounding guard.
Ooh, Brea didn't cut. Williams thought he would. It's another turnover for the Wildcats.
Well, Brea is more likely to go out than toward the basket. So he wanted him to go in, and Brea said, no, I'm going out this way. And so a little miscommunication there. But Brad Underwood was certainly right. One of the big problems for Illinois, when you turn the ball over, you don't get shots. And if you don't get shots, you can't score.
Dan, that analysis is just right on.
I studied all your notes.
No one has scored without shooting the ball.
Well, again, that's what Nolan Richardson told me.
There you go.
You have to have the ball to score.
Carr, Williams, mismatch there. He'll try to work his way in. Out to Brea, rise and fire. Rebound. Ivisic, 5 of them. And Boswell into the big man for Kentucky.
Well, they got a mismatch inside.
He'll dance, he'll drive, he'll bash his way in for 2. Pretty play inside, Boswell.
Great drive by Boswell, and a great job sealing inside by Ivisic that opened up the drive.
Timeout. Illinois has come back to within 6 on a 6-0 run. They've led by as many as 12 in the first half.
And right here, down at the bottom of the screen, Ivisic is going this way. He's going down to the basket. And watch the pump fake. Gets Williams turned around, and then here's Ivisic. He's just standing in there, and he blocks off Chandler. Chandler's worried about them throwing the ball to Ivisic, and Ivisic just blocks him out of the way.
Outstanding job. Ivisic just such a good player and so important to their offense in so many ways.
Kentucky was the 3rd leading scoring team in the Southeastern Conference, number 4 in Division I nationally. It's Carr and Garrison. Brea, who will be chased inside by Boswell. Garrison.
That's a tough matchup down inside for Trey White against Andrew Carr. Carr's 6'11", a really strong guy. And White is sort of a skinny 6'7", but Kentucky hadn't really taken advantage of it until that point right there when they were able to occupy the inside and get a rebound.
Ivisic on the side, White. Rebound, Brea.
Kentucky going to the switches, Kevin, has really helped them, I think, against Illinois' pick and roll game.
Garrison free to fire. A three won't go. Jonas is there.
He is undeterred from out there.
He is. He's shot 5 of them now in 2 games here in Milwaukee.
They shoot as many threes as any team in the country. Their percentage just isn't very good, as you guys have talked about.
No, it's not. And Chandler working hard down there on Ivisic. And again, Boswell taking advantage of the switch on the perimeter and getting the ball all the way to the rim.
Boswell's red hot. 4 of 4 his start. But the rest of the Illini are combined 4 of 18. Butler gets the screen. Back to Garrison. Rebound lassoed by White. Fifth consecutive NCAA tournament for the Illini. Elite 8 is where they reached last year before losing to the eventual national champion, UConn Huskies. That's a 3 and a miss, his first, with Boswell missing from outside. There's a whistle at 3:47 to go in the first half. He wheels in there, had an open lane, and he takes advantage of it. Ivisic just picked up his second for Brad Underwood of Illinois. Ivisic is out. Three-point shooting was so important against Xavier, but look at only 2 of 12 today for the Illini.
Yeah, look, they haven't shot them well all year, but they need to get their 3 best guys going. Jonas, Riley, and Ivisic. Their 3 leading scorers are 3 for 14 and have 7 turnovers combined. That's not going to get it done.
Jonas with the ball, like we said, he missed a triple-double by 1 rebound against Xavier on Friday night in this building. Down to 10 on the clock. Boswell with the hot hand. Jonas outside. Screen Boswell. Moving hard. Trey White inside with a series of moves. And the Illini on a 10-2 run.
Wow, he just went right through a bigger player in Carr.
Butler 3, bullseye.
That's the second time they've gone under on him on the pick and roll. He's made them pay both times.
Johnson is out there for Ivisic. Jonas is on top here, Dan, and Butler's on him.
And because Butler's on him, Jonas hasn't been able to get into the lane at will.
But Boswell has. Look at him here. Up and down. Pretty play. Riveting move once again. Boswell is 5 of 6.
He's 5 of 6. He was 5 for 8 the other night for 15 points, and he's their leading scorer here today. So their main 3 guys are struggling a little today, but Boswell's keeping them in it.
Lot of traffic inside the paint for Butler to maneuver. And it's knocked away. There was a foul.
Yeah, look at Boswell here. Probably got fouled on that, but got it back and was able to finish.
Trey White picked up his second.
You talk about strength, and Mark Pope is looking out there and he's saying, how strong is that Boswell guy? I mean, that ball got knocked away. He recovered it and took it right back up.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a power guard, if there is such a designation.
So here's Lamont Butler at the free throw line, bad shoulder and all, at the stripe, 73%. He is from California, Moreno Valley. Played at Riverside Poly, and Stan, we were talking about this the other night. He passed Reggie Miller as the all-time leading scorer. He then goes to San Diego State. He's in the tournament every year, and he goes to a Final Four there. Now he's finishing up at UK.
They went to the championship game on a shot he hit against Florida Atlantic 2 years ago to put him there. He's been in a lot of big games. And here he is coming off a game where they didn't need his offense the other day against Troy. He didn't even score. He makes this free throw and he's in double figures already in this game.
And not only that, We just talked about it. He has kept Yakachonis out of the lane. Yakachonis almost had a triple-double, but he didn't really shoot the ball well. He was 9 for 9 from the line because he could penetrate past the guards on the perimeter and get in and draw fouls, and he can't do that against Butler.
Almanor is in with Williams. They take out Garrison. They take out Carr. A couple changes for Kentucky up front.
You don't see this very often, Kentucky having 2 freshmen in the game at the same time, Noah and Chandler.
Riley with a fake. He'll lean in a series of moves. He puts it up and in. He's got a 3-point game going so far after 22. Long shot, 3. No. It's off right there by Almanor. Here comes Yakachonis. Off to Boswell. A 3. Gathered in by Williams. Kentucky the other way. Kentucky trying to go to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 6 seasons. With a first-year coach who played for the team in the 90s when he was a national champion. A foul on top. And Yakachonis will pick it up for Illinois.
Brad Underwood very upset about that call. I think he wanted an illegal screen, Dan.
I think he did, but Yakachonis, you know, when he gets tangled up there, his arm flies up and goes across Lamont Butler's neck. And look at where the official is. The official is right out here at the top of the screen, and the official sees that arm come across the neck, and that's the foul he called.
And I think it's a good call. I think the screen was legal. I think he was set. Great screen.
Butler at the line.
That's Butler's first miss today from anywhere. Chandler's got to take away the right hand.
And Riley was corkscrewing inside, and the ball knocked away. As the Illini right now are playing with 3 freshmen on the floor, Illinois is, and they're down by 5. Coming up on AT&T at the half, get all the scores and highlights, news, everything you need to know about the NCAA tournament. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. It's Will Riley at the free throw line for Illinois.
And these are big free throws with as poorly as Illinois has played in this half, and they have played poorly. They're only down by 4 points.
Absolutely, but not a big surprise, Dan, that once they stopped turning the ball over, they got back in the game. I mean, they haven't turned the ball over in quite a while now. They had those 8 early ones. You made the point, and it sounds really simple, and it is, but very important. If you're not getting shots, you can't score. If you can't score, you don't have a chance to win, and this crowd's coming alive.
Butler got a screen. Chiseling his way in the paint. Outside. It's a 3. Bullseye. Almanor cans it.
Well, Almanor, it's a smaller sample size, but it's not easy to shoot 50% from the floor, 40% from 3, and 90% at the line, and he's doing it.
It's a Yakachonis 3, and finally gets it to go.
That's a big
one
basket.
from outside. He's got 5.
That's a huge basket at this point in the game.
Well, it's good. He needs to see one go down. He was only 3 for 11 the other day, so now 5 for 17 and 2 for 10 from 3 in the 2 games.
And the final 15 seconds of the first half. It's Butler. Davis goes out there on him. The collision. And like confetti on the floor, bodies on the floor with 1.5 to go.
That was just an unfortunate play for Illinois. I don't think this was a lack of discipline. Both guys, Riley just tripped, ran into Davis, and so they end up fouling Noah. This isn't a bad defensive play necessarily. No. This is just bad luck.
Davis picks up the foul. And Kentucky's at the line in the form of freshman Trent Noah. He was the 5th all-time leading high school scorer in Kentucky high school basketball history.
Over 3,700 points, and yet 1,700 points behind his teammate Travis Perry, who scored an incredible 5,400 points in high school.
When you figure this guy's a pretty good free throw shooter, right? And he is. He shoots 80%. But before he went to the line this time, he'd only taken 5 free throws all year.
And the lead is 5. It's been as high as 12. The full court pressure by Kentucky. Humrickhouse will let it go. Good if it goes. And that close. And halftime is here. With the Kentucky Wildcats leading Illinois by 5 at the half. And Humrickhouse from Evansville in the Missouri Valley just about had it go through. 5 threes for Kentucky. One by Butler. Let's send it over to Lauren.
Lamont, plenty of turnovers in the first. How do you create more in the second?
Say it again.
Plenty of turnovers in the first. How do you create more?
We just got to be connected on defense, trying to pressure their guards when they're driving, and really just talking and communicating on defense. That's going to be best for us.
I mean, your coach says your shoulder's falling off. You told me you're fine. Which is it?
I'm good. I'm good.
I know you. You just don't want to let down your teammates.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm here. That's all that's matters.
Your coach calls you the one-arm bandit. Thanks for the time, Lamont.
Yeah, thank you.
Kevin.
A first-year Wildcat after having 2 straight Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year awards bestowed upon him. All a part of this season's Kentucky Wildcat program. We'll take a break and then take you to the AT&T at the half after these messages on CBS. In the first 11 minutes and 30 seconds of the first half, Illinois turned it over 8 times, trailed by 12. They did not turn it over the final 8.5 minutes of the first half.
Well,
that's the game.
That's absolutely the game, Kevin. Take care of the ball and you give yourself a chance to win. Dan said it as smart as you possibly could. You have to get shots to score.
And you can see when they got some lead at halftime, Dan, they have found success.
And also, Illinois had a lot of their success with Otega-Owe out of the game with 2 fouls, and he's back in now.
Jonas is out there. Riley's on top and cutting. Ivisic has it right now. They get it out to White. Boswell on the wing. That's the 5 for the Illini. A turnover right there, right out of the chute.
That's what Brad Underwood was talking about. You got to be strong in there. You just can't let him tip the ball away.
It's Brea, Williams, Carr, Otega-Owe with the ball right now, and Lamont Butler, who's got it for the Wildcats. Williams, Ivisic, he'll pitch off to the driving and cutting Owe for 2.
Great job, though, executing out of the timeout to get Owe coming out of the corner and let him get to his right hand to the rim.
Boswell again draws Williams on the perimeter.
Kentucky doing a good job, though. They're switching, and then they're getting Carr inside.
Rejected by Williams on the shot by Riley. Shot clock at 6. He'll take a long 3. Rebound, Carr. Outlet, Butler. And the Cats are running to Carr.
What a great play by Carr. Great block out, got the rebound, made a really nice outlet pass, and then just ran down the court.
First bucket of the day for Carr.
And he was big the other night against Troy with 13 points, 3 blocks, 3 rebounds. Riley on the perimeter, trudging his way down the lane. And the ball knocked away and a foul is called. It'll go on Brea, number 1.
Everything starts right here with Carr with the great block out, and then just down he goes. I mean, he just chases the ball. This is a really nice job by Butler to hold up, let him go by. What a great pass.
Jonas got it into Riley. More defense by Kentucky.
Yeah, Owe with the block there, and now they push it ahead to Butler, who is a different offensive player today.
He sure is. Bad shoulder and all. Got the Williams screen, works his way in with a dazzling move to get open and throw off the defense.
But guards have gotten so good with what Butler does right there. He just kept the defender on his back, was able to get down in the paint, They're back up 11 now.
And they've led by as many as 12. Over Brea, Yakachomis. Rebound by Owe. And the Cats on the move, and here he goes, slicing inside for two.
Kevin, listening to Coach Underwood a few minutes ago, he said they're all in the paint. I want them out of it, settle in, keep them out of transition. And then he said, you hear this place? Your fans are everywhere. Give them something to cheer about, for goodness sakes. Except he didn't say that.
He didn't say give him something to cheer about?
For goodness sakes.
Okay.
Yes, for goodness sakes, that's right.
You got me?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Kentucky shooting 51%. Illini shooting 37%. Illinois, oh, there's a steal, another one. Williams will rock it to the rim.
Kentucky's defense has been outstanding. We talk all the time about their offense, but their defense has been fantastic.
White. And that was over Carr.
That's a tough shot. That's good defense by Kentucky.
Illinois, this half, 7 possessions and 2 points. And 1 of 5, diving inside for 2, Kobe Brea.
That's Amari Williams' 5th assist. One of the best passing big men in the country.
Inside they go, the collision while airborne, and it goes through. Nice play, Boswell.
Well, Kentucky keeps the floor spread so widely that Illinois doesn't really have much of an opportunity to come and help.
White's now got 6 for the Illini, screened by Williams, and Butler will maneuver. Kentucky this half, 6 of 6. Owe on the wing, shot clock down to 7. The defense there by Boswell. Owe.
That was good defense by Illinois, but he's just able to get in and over the top.
Such a good player. I mean, he can shoot the 3, but he's at his best when he's attacking and getting into the lane.
Ivasic.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I think Kentucky's been better when they've just switched the pick and roll and not given Ivasic the room to shoot the 3 when he picks and pops.
Owe on top, met by Boswell. Williams, screen, Butler 3. Rebound collected by Kylan Boswell. And Ivasic again. Knocked away Williams, another block for him. He'll go the other way.
Amari Williams has been outstanding today. 3 blocks to go with 7 rebounds and 5 assists.
Another Illinois turnover. It's Butler on the move. Knocked away by Trey White of the Illini and out of bounds. The quick hands of Kentucky.
Well, and Amari Williams is an elite defender. Here, he just steps right into the passing lane, and you're not catching him. He runs really well. And then, I don't know what Ivasic is thinking about. He's standing right there, and here he goes again.
Here's a look at Amari Williams, Stan. He is one of 14 players in college basketball with 1,000 points in his career and 1,000 rebounds.
Yeah, and that might not even be the 2 best things he does with his shot blocking and his assists. And again, they get Owe coming out of that corner to his right hand. He's so explosive.
Well, and like you say, he only played 6 minutes in the first half, and you can really tell what a difference he makes for this offense.
Owe's got 10. Kentucky this half has gone 9 of 10. Driving inside hard. Boswell got it. And a foul. They needed that in the worst way as he plunges in for 2.
Well, Boswell, you know, he played linebacker in high school football, and he just accelerates there when the defender runs away. They were counting on Williams to stop him, but Williams couldn't.
Well, look, Boswell's in the 2 games. Boswell's been their best player.
Oh, there's no question. And, you know, I talked to a lot of guys, you know, former running backs, quarterbacks, receivers. I don't know that I've ever talked to a guy who started out as a linebacker, particularly if he's a point guard.
And he plays that way. here in this tournament.
And Coach says he's the least selfish. I was just thinking back to a conversation Dan and I had with Coach Underwood yesterday. He's so consumed by character. He gives every guy a personality test. I said, what are you looking for? Work ethic, accountability? He said, want to know what I'm not looking for? Selfishness. It's a non-starter for me. He said, and if you're a little bit selfish, you better be darn good.
Darn good. 13 assists on 24 made Kentucky baskets tonight. Brea put that one in on the fly. Here's a three. Good. Got it to go. Kylan Boswell.
It's a good thing he got off the bus today.
Yes. They need him.
Boswell just 15 points the other day on 5 of 8 shooting, and today 16 points on 7 of 9.
Each team is at 5 threes. It's Oweh. He was putting that over Humrickhouse, who got the loose ball. Kylan Boswell, who's from Champaign, went to Arizona. Now he's with the Illini. Ivisic with a three. 2 in a row. Ring it up for Illinois.
Kentucky needs to go back to switching his pick and rolls. I thought they did a great job of it in the first half when they made the adjustment. I think they need to go back to switching those.
It's Amari Williams, who played 4 years at Drexel. Plenty of time, shot clock at 11, working on Ivisic, contorts, and cannot hit. Rebound White. He played at Louisville and USC. Boswell again, accelerates into Carr. Rebound inside, collected by Chandler.
Great defense by Carr, and Chandler's given him a nice lift today.
Chandler, a long three. Indeed he has.
I mean, he's right back in. I mean, couple of threes. He's got 3 steals in the game.
Ivisic working by Williams. He'll dance in the paint. A nest of defenders awaiting. Williams the rebound.
What an outlet pass.
Oweh swerving, driving. Ivisic got a hand on the ball. Humrickhouse has it. Up court Boswell on the wing. Yakichonas a three. And they got it back to single digits.
And they got the crowd in the game.
The Orange Crush is here, and they want to get into this game, Dan. They've got it back to 9 right now.
Yakichonas hits the three. 1 of 7 by the Illini. Trailing by 16, now down by 9. Nice to have you with us, Jamie, and they'll take on the winner there. The 6-seed BYU Cougars used to be coached by Mark Pope. Took them to some tournaments, and now he's in control of the Kentucky basketball program. Chandler's had he's got 6 points and a couple threes with Butler on top and Boswell on him. The shot clock is down to 9. Got the screen, Garrison laid it. And Butler got tripped up as he was trying to maneuver down the lane. Watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break, presented by Nissan in the March Madness Live app. Humrickhouse picks up his first for Illinois.
He thought he got pushed into that foul. Referees disagreed, obviously.
Brea.
Nobody ever commits a foul. You don't think you do.
It's true.
Garrison. Brea. Screen. Fake. Fires. Got it.
That guy can really shoot the ball.
He can. Wow.
And they have done a good job running him off the line today. But he's 5 for 6 inside the arc.
Johnson a screen, maneuvering. Johnson got it in the screen roll, but it was foiled on the play. Garrison was a part of the defense, and it's Butler up the middle. Three on Boswell, on the wing Carr. Here comes Brea. Another screen, and here's a 2.
You know, they close it down. They're within 9, and then he just hits 5 quick points.
Yeah, and Brea's also got 5 rebounds today. He's played well. That's a nice drive by Yakichonas. He needs to get going for them.
That's the first time he's gotten into the lane on a drive today.
Another screen, another three. Brea! Now he's got 21. And he has been a flamethrower for Kentucky.
Hey, look, he is an elite shooter. There aren't many better shooters in the world than Brea is.
Played at Dayton. Sixth man of the year in the A-10. But with Kentucky, he starts and buries the threes.
Well, what's crazy is he was coming off the bench for Kentucky, too, until Jackson Robinson got hurt. Then he goes into that lineup, and has he ever responded?
But they're setting that screen for him, and Yakachonis is getting caught up on the screen, and the Illinois big guys are playing way back in the lane.
Yeah, they're going to have to get up. You're absolutely right, Dan.
Timeout taken by Yakachonis. The winner here goes to the Sweet 16 to face the Tennessee Vols. Kentucky has been up by as many as 16. Leading now halfway through the second half, 68-53. A lot of experience that Mark Pope as he rebuilt from scratch this roster for Kentucky.
Yeah, look, I mean, 1,193 career games, 15th last year. They only had 607 games. Very, very few. And there's Morez Johnson. Look, per minute, this guy's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. He is averaging just under 3 offensive rebounds a game, and he plays under 18 minutes a game.
Well, Brad Underwood looking for some answers, and you know, we've been talking about the Kentucky offense, and it's been very good, but their defense, they have 12 steals, they've blocked 4 shots.
Excellent point.
They've been outstanding today against an Illinois team that can really put points on the board.
One of the top scoring teams in the country, and a good rebounding team too. Here at the free throw line for Coach Brad Underwood is Morez Johnson, freshman who played at a couple different high schools, Thornton Township and St. Rita. Illinois Mr. Basketball, top player in the state. Injured, we told you about the broken wrist. That's why he wears that wrap on that left hand. He can't get the second or two. Almanor is there with the rebound for the Cats.
Here's what we're talking about. This is, I mean, those steals lead to transition, and one of the blocked shots led directly to the basket.
Brea again off a screen.
I like
Boswell.
this, putting Boswell on Brea.
What a stroke.
But it didn't do any good. Just great job. Lets him fly by and knocks it in. Kobe Brea taking this game over.
He has scored the last 10 Kentucky points. Yakachonis, Ivicic free to fire a 3. It's a rebound, Johnson. Back out to Yakachonis with a triple. Rebound collected by the high-flying Lamont Butler. Almanor. It's a 3 from him. Rebound inside Kentucky, Trey White.
Kentucky's getting great shots every time down the floor, though.
White will take it on the move in congestion. Johnson can't tap it back up and in. Volleyball around, grabbed by Ortega-Owe.
Just haven't been able to convert, but Morez Johnson crushing Kentucky on the offensive glass. 4 offensive rebounds for him.
Brea, another screen, another 3. Rebound fought for. It's collected by the Wildcats. Garrison has it on the hustle from Owe.
So you got Butler and Owe and Brea out there. How do you guard all 3 of those guys on the perimeter?
Garrison careening off bodies and took it up, but couldn't get the finish. Boswell the other way.
I'm going to say the answer to that, Dan, right now is not well.
Ivicic, 3, no.
He looks tired.
Illinois has missed 6 in a row. White will spin on that baseline and go for the reverse.
That's a big-time move right there. Had to pivot a couple of times and then take it up on the other side.
But now you've got to get some stops down on this end, and they have really struggled to do so.
Well, if I'm Kentucky, I'm going right back to Kobe Brea again.
Lurching into the paint with the drive right there. Butler bumped and a foul with 7:44 to go in the second half. The winner to the Sweet 16. Foul for the 3rd time on Ivicic. Brea has been the man, firing from all parts of the floor. They grab your gear and head out with an exciting new NCIS. It's tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, and streaming on Paramount+. Kentucky in the second half is shooting 66% and playing well at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they sure are. Kobe Bray has taken over here, but their execution has been great and almost as important as the shooting. They've only got 4 turnovers in the game.
But you said it, Stan, they're shooting that way because they're getting great shots.
It's Oweh inside, very congested. Oweh with the rebound with a foul on Illinois in the paint, and 7.5 in the half, and that foul.
That's the 3rd time they've run the same play coming out of the timeout, and they've gotten Oweh into the paint going to his strong hand every single time.
Gibbs Lawhorn picks up the foul for the Illini. Williams. Kentucky's led by 16. Screen for Butler. Down low to Williams. He fumbles it away. Johnson collects.
Listen, that's a bad pass, though. You can't throw a bounce pass to a 6'10" guy below his knees and expect him to make the play. He's not a shortstop, Dan. He's not a shortstop. He's a big guy.
Butler picks up number 2 for Kentucky.
No, if he's playing, he's a first baseman.
Absolutely. That ball's got to go up high on the lob.
Yes, absolutely.
There. Or you know what? And I think a lot of times guards make this mistake. If the pass is difficult, just get that shot up on the rim and let him go rebound it up there. He's a lot more comfortable doing that than trying to catch a bounce pass.
Colin Chandler checks in. The freshman Lamont Butler will check out. Jakic Jonas will maneuver. Boswell down the lane, lost the ball, shot clock at 10.
And that whole thing was affected by Williams. Boswell drives down the lane and Williams is standing right there, so he tries to make a really tough wraparound pass.
Hey, look, Amari Williams has been outstanding today at both ends of the floor.
Boswell into Brea, nudging his way in for the shot, and a foul called on Kobe Brea.
And a bad foul. He's going left on the baseline. That's a tough shot. I know he's getting in close, and I know Kylan Boswell's outstanding, but make him make that.
2 free throws coming up with Boswell at the line. While at Arizona, he was terrific in assists and steals in the Pac-12, amongst the leaders. And his dad, Brandon, watching and enjoying here today. Like I said, the family's from Champaign. That's where he played his high school ball, and he's at the line right now.
I don't know if he's enjoying. He's enjoying his son playing well, but Illinois down 13. I don't know if he's enjoying that part of it.
Well, I would suspect the answer is no. But Illinois' got to dig in here defensively, and it's hard to do that if you're going to play that far off Williams and let him just survey the whole court.
Oweh will penetrate.
See, and that's a problem. You're trying to make a comeback, and the other team has a closer, and that's what Oweh is. It's like he can get his shot anytime he wants it.
Well, look, that 3-guard lineup they start has 47 points.
And they're shooting lights out.
And 2 turnovers.
Oweh's got 12, Butler's got 12, Brea's got 23. That's what Stan's talking about in the spinning Humrick house. It was making his way and got fouled.
And Oweh just comes off the screen, and Jakic Jonas hasn't been able to guard him. And when Jakic Jonas has tried to guard Butler, he hadn't been able to guard him. And when he's tried to guard Brea, he hadn't been able to guard him.
Andrew Carr just picked up his 3rd for the Wildcats. Riley, who's been very quiet, will check out. They bring back in Trey White. Humrick house is at the line. From Tipton, Indiana, a senior. He played, like mentioned a couple times, at Evansville. He was a scholar athlete in that conference, which is the highest honor in the Missouri Valley. Now he plays for Illinois.
They played some really solid basketball in the Missouri Valley. There's good players and good teams. I mean, we got Ole Miss coming in here, and Malik Dia played at Belmont in the Missouri Valley last year.
Well, and Nate Heisey was an all-conference guy in the Missouri Valley playing for Iowa State. So, yeah, look, it's a great basketball league, as you guys know as well as anyone, because you've done games in that league. And Humrick House put up good numbers there in that league. Averaged almost 15 points a game at Evansville.
Ivisic back in. Humrick House will check out. And here come the Cats with Butler and Oweh, Williams, Chandler, and Carr. That's the Wildcat 5 on the floor. Approaching 6 to go in the second half. It's Williams, and Ivisic is on him. It's Carr, and he'll shoot this one over Johnson. Got his own miss, kicks it back out. Chandler will reset. Under 6 to go. Williams steers his way into the defense of Ivicic. Ball jostled free, taken by Boswell. Here come the Illini. Here they go, up high, hold on to your hats. Johnson flies off that baseline.
Kylan Boswell's playing great. The ball's got to be in his hands as much as possible going down the stretch.
5.5 to go. Butler around the screen. Doubled and kicks. Carr free to fire a 3. Williams got a hand on it. He and the ball out of bounds on a lunge. Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, and breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
Well, Illinois, what a great pass by Butler, and you're not going to make every shot here as we go down the stretch, but they have to get a good shot every time. They can't afford turnovers.
And they got to get stops at the other end, which they have on the last 2 possessions. And now Jonas going to the free throw line, which is a great way to get yourself back in the game, not only to be able to score, but stop the clock.
Jonas there was a perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line, Dan, the other night here in Milwaukee, and the team was a perfect 18 of 18. Now this afternoon they have gone 10 of 14 from the line.
But this is Jonas' first trip to the free throw line. That says a lot about that Kentucky defense's ability to keep him out of the lane.
Jonas has 11, a couple threes, with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Chandler checks out. Brea will come back in for the Cats.
And Chandler's played a lot, though, today, and somebody that Mark Pope started to really trust.
Absolutely. And interestingly enough, Brea is not coming back in the game for his offense, but he's coming back into the game because Jonas was able to beat Chandler off the dribble.
Butler with 12 and 4 assists. Jonas will pick him up. Brea thought 3, and Garrison will set a screen, and Owe will try to work his way into White. Jonas is there, stolen by Butler, inside Garrison. Oh!
Lamont Butler is a big-time defensive player, and this is a huge play after Illinois gets a stop. Steal into the assist. Garrison finishes, and they're back up 12.
Jonas just has to be more aware in that particular situation. There's players all around him. You just can't start dribbling the ball. You got to hold it, let him clear, and then go.
Garrison at the line. Played last year at Oklahoma State, starter for the Cowboys after playing high school at Dell City High School, McDonald's All-America, top 30 in the country, transfers to Kentucky, and is a big part of where the Wildcats are and where they want to go. 4.5 to go. Riley with a 3. Inside, Jonas cleans it up for the Illini.
But Kevin, one of the problems now for Illinois, in addition to all their others, is that was 4 fouls on Ivicic. And he's staying in the game because you can't take him out now.
Not now. 4 to play. And Butler will take it inside. Garrison there, knocked away beautifully by Trey White.
That was a nice pass by Butler, but great defensive play. Big possession here for Illinois.
It's White into Carr and across the lane. Boswell. It's a 3. White can't hit. Rebound Carr. Kentucky the other way. 3.5 to go.
That was a big-time defensive possession by Andrew Carr.
Absolutely.
He shut down 2 guards on drives and then came back and got the rebound.
That's a foul on Jonas with a shove on Butler at midcourt.
There's a lot of ways to help your team win a game. Andrew Carr hasn't been involved offensively, but his defense, incredible. And Kentucky up by 10.
Mark Pope trying to take this team in his first year to the Sweet 16.
Look at Andrew Carr here, though. Shuts down the drive. That's a second drive he's shut down in the possession. Goes and gets a rebound. When we're talking about the stars of today's game, his name is not going to come up. He's got one bucket, but those plays are huge.
Carr finagles his way inside. Got his miss. Makes a move. Ivisic is there. Boy, a lot of chances. Volleyballed around. Out of bounds. It will be Illinois' ball.
You know, Carr, most of the time, let me see, who's...
Ooh, a foot.
That's Garrison's
Another foot.
There's a lot of feet there, Kevin.
Everybody has 2 of them, guys.
Yeah, and there's 4 guys there, so that's 8.
And there hits that one.
I don't know if it hit Riley's foot. I think they got the right call.
Yeah, it hit the black
I think it was
shoe.
off Garrison.
That's what happens when you wear different color sneakers. It makes it easier for the referee.
I'll tell you, Andrew Carr playing Boswell on the drive has been great.
Ivisic, and it will trickle in on a 9-2 run by Illinois.
Ivisic does a good job moving to an open spot, and then he gets back to that right shoulder, uses his left hand, and Mark Pope's going to go back with Amari Williams for Garrison.
Johnson comes in. They'll pair him up front with Ivisic.
You got to give Illinois a lot of credit for resilience here because they have struggled. 13 turnovers. You know, they're only shooting 44% from the floor and 26% from 3, but they're hanging in. It's an 8-point game.
Williams the rebound. He's got 10 with 6 assists and 8 points.
And you can see there, started 10 for 11 Kentucky, but only 7 for 23 since, barely over 30%.
It's Butler, and they're going to blitz him. Williams inside. Ivisic met him. Shot clock at 6, trying to maneuver. Rebound coming in, flying inside, Trey White. And now urgency for the Illini. The clock ticking, you see it at 2:15. Boswell, White, this is a big shot. And it ricochets away.
Kevin, you had the impression that that was a must-score situation for Illinois.
Yeah, they got an open one. He's a 34% three-point shooter. It has been interesting, and I think a good move by Brad Underwood. He's taken the ball out of Jonas' hands here in the second half and given the ball to Kylan Boswell to make plays, and he's been more than solid. Interestingly, Will Riley, who was sort of the hero the other day, is not in the game down the stretch.
Illinois has missed their last 7 threes. Owe, Carr, and now Brea. Almost stolen. Brea, thought 3. He'll set, he'll fire. With a rebound by Hundrickhouse. Illinois on the move.
Still plenty of time here.
Down by 8.
Got to score, though.
Boswell chipping his way inside.
That'll work.
Illinois is on an 11-2 run.
Kylan Boswell has just been outstanding both games.
It's Butler, and they blitz him. Foul on White.
And look at Boswell, just so under control, just surveys the floor, gets a little space. He's so strong on Brea.
He got that space because Brea tripped over Williams, and what a great job by Boswell to recognize that he had that room.
White just picked up his 3rd for the Illini. Again, they blitz Butler. Away. Carr. The bump into Johnson. Got it!
Great job against the pressure by Kentucky moving the ball. Butler gets it out of a trap. Owe gets it out of the trap. And then Carr finishes through contact. Andrew Carr's numbers are not going to be huge today, Dan, but he has made winning plays down the stretch in this game.
Well, without any question, and we've showed you a couple of his defensive efforts, and he's been doing that the entire game. But what you're seeing here is a Kentucky team that has a really nice rotation. They play a lot of guys, and everybody who's in the game makes a contribution.
Well, and we've talked about it earlier in the game. A very experienced team. They haven't been together. They're all new. They average over 3 years of Division I experience per man.
Jonas with a three, missed it all. Collected down low, Humrickhouse. He goes up on his shot. And a foul as Jonas was putting up a three. And Brandon Garrison over there defending and closing in the corner.
Not really
Garrison
sure
actually hit that ball with his foot.
Yeah, I don't know what he's complaining about on the out of bounds, though.
Well, it's okay. He doesn't have to have a reason.
Yeah, ball's off Garrison.
And they're going to look at it. Of course, it's the last 2 minutes of the game. They're allowed to look at it, and in a situation like this, they look at all of them.
And Mark Pope convinced them to look at it.
The floor is out of bounds with red possession. That play is now under review.
This is where you need to focus. I don't think that ball ever hit the foot of Jonas. The ball never changed direction.
No, I don't think so either. I think that ball's off of Garrison.
I thought Garrison got it with his foot, but he got it with his left hand as he's flying by.
So we're going to go to our rules analyst, Gene's territory. You've watched it, Gene, a couple times. What do you see?
Extremely close, as we know. I actually think it does touch Jonas's right calf there subtly. I don't know if that look is going to be clear and concise enough for them to overturn, but I do believe Brian Dorsey did keep the ball with Illinois. So is it 100% conclusive that it is opposite than that? That's what's left up for discussion right now. Me personally, I think it grazed the right calf, fellas.
We could see it right here, and graze is a good word to use. Did it change direction? And this will be a great look by Andy Friedman and Craig Silver. Boy, it looked like it might have shot.
Yeah, it does. I think Gene might be right.
Gene might be right.
Don't encourage Gene. But is it enough? Is it enough to overturn the call? It has to be indisputable.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that point, Dan. And this is obviously a huge call with a minute to go.
It hits it.
Yeah, that's
right. Well, you know, when they first started doing these reviews, they asked, we had a seminar, and we asked the guy who was the head of the officials, and what's indisputable? And he said, if all three agree, then it's indisputable. And so it doesn't matter what we think if the three of them agree on it.
Upon review,
and Brad Underwood shaking his head.
Like it will be white possession in the backcourt with 30 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, Big Blue Nation seems very happy with the call, so I'm going to say it went.
Well, they gave it to White. So they did give it to Kentucky.
So Gene was correct. Dan, come on, say it.
Okay,
say it.
Gene was right.
Right there, fellas, it felt to me like it changed direction. Just a little, Kev.
Yep,
just on that look, I felt like there was a little change in direction.
Well, Gene, you'd have been here with your index card.
Now, this is a tough place for Kentucky to inbound the ball from. They're in the deep corner here. Morez Johnson, big guy on the ball. This is not going to be an easy place to get the ball in bounds.
Butler tries to break it. Jonas will pick up the foul for the Illini.
And the other thing that pause did is allowed Mark Pope to take Williams out of the game. So Illinois now doesn't have the option of fouling Williams. Instead, they put Butler on the line.
You go out and get a guy like Lamont Butler for games like this
Yes.
and situations like this. He's going to be under control. He's going to organize your team. He's one of the top on-ball defenders in all of college basketball, and he's poised as can be.
Well, his numbers from the free throw line, he's 73%. And you say, well, that's not really all that great, but this is Lamont Butler, as you said. He's been in tough situations, made huge shots in the NCAA tournament. This guy, I'd want at the line.
Kentucky at the line, 6 of 12. With a drive right here and a scoop. Boswell fouled.
Well, Boswell's been their guy. He's the guy who's done all the work to try to keep him in the game. Ivisic also made some threes, but Boswell 8 for 11 and now going to the line for the 4th and 5th times, and he's got 5 assists.
Winner here will go to the Sweet 16 in Indianapolis, all a part of the Midwest, and take on the Tennessee Volunteers.
And if that's the Kentucky Wildcats, they've already played Tennessee twice this year, and they beat them both times.
They sure did. And against a very good defense that Tennessee has, they've averaged 76.5 points a game.
Well, no, I think you got to foul. You got to foul
you're
right
running
away.
out of time here. You got to, maybe if you can get a steal on the inbounds or one hard trap.
Butler was down to a knee, and they blitzed him and out of bounds.
And now Brad Underwood wants him to take a look at the monitor, and they looked at Brad Underwood and he said, why not?
Well, it doesn't cost him anything.
It should. This is one thing I'd like to see him change. You know, I'd like to see him go to coach's challenge, and the coach can decide, and if he's wrong on the challenge, he doesn't get another one.
Well, Butler does a great job controlling this ball. It's hard to see that. Bert Smith, the referee's in the way. Okay, let's look here.
I think it looks off of Boswell's hand. Am I correct? His left hand. Back of the hand.
I don't know, but I do know that basketball fans love all these replays. They absolutely love them, that you can just go to the monitor on every, if you're watching at home, you're saying, yes, give me more replays.
No, you like replays. You're talking about reviews.
Gene has just radioed in, said, Kevin, you're right again.
No, that is true. Replays they like, but.
So, Gene, you think it's off his left hand like I do?
I do, Kevin, and you know I'm with the guys, too. I
The ball is off number 4, Red's hand. It'll be white ball on the sideline.
Yeah, I empathize with the officials because you don't want that one look where it might have touched someone else, but man, I'd love to see them figure a way to expedite some of these. Let's get in and out as quick as we can so we get the thing rolling.
Yeah, and I really do think going forward, Gene, they need to talk about a challenge system rather than just reviewing virtually every time the ball goes out of bounds in the last 2 minutes of a game.
I agree with you, Stan.
And they're going to wipe up some moisture on the floor. And
if they can find it.
If they can find it. In fact, it may be more than it may be blood.
I think it is blood based on the fact that he is spraying the floor over there.
Kobe Brea will inbound for Kentucky. Art Pope is coached at Utah Valley State, at BYU. We know he played for that 96 National Championship Wildcat team with Rick Pitino. In a Kentucky uniform, Brea will get it in. Butler has it right there. He breaks it with the pass to Brea. Butler to Brea, and Brea will corkscrew.
It's too much time.
Almanor had it, and then they quickly converged with Hummerkaus, who picked up the foul.
And Almanor, a 90% free throw shooter, as is Brea. Like a guy like Brea to have on the floor in a game like this, I mean, he turns the ball over once every 60 minutes. Almanor turns the ball over once every 70 minutes, and they're both 90% free throw shooters. Tell me guys you'd rather have at the end of a close game. My daughter, Allie, doing great in her NCAA pool, and one of the factors she looked at, she's not the most knowledgeable basketball fan, but one of the things she looked at was free throw shooting on teams because she figures games will be close and free throw shooting is important.
Almanor, who grew up in Spring Valley, New York, went to Fairleigh Dickinson, and now is a Wildcat. Kentucky led at halftime by 5. And Kentucky opened the second half, making 10 of their first 11 shots. They miss it inside. Illinois comes up empty. And the ball cradled by Garrison. And 27.7 seconds left. And the Kentucky faithful can feel a Sweet 16.
I'll tell you what, Kentucky now is going to have to try to do one of the hardest things, Dan, as you know. They're going to have to try to beat a really good Tennessee team for the third time in the same season. Not easy.
Garrison at the line.
No, and it's not easy. And if you're Tennessee, you're upset that you lost both of those games, particularly the one at home. But now you have a chance. This is the one game that means everything.
But they are. Kentucky is going to Indianapolis. We're going to basically have a couple of home games in Indianapolis. Purdue's going to play Houston there, and Kentucky close by is going to play there. The crowds will be unbelievable as Boswell hits another one. This guy has been as good as anyone in this tournament.
Away, and he is fouled right there by Boswell. Kobe Brea has been a terrific marksman, whether floating on the fly or connecting from outside.
But Kevin, his reputation is as a three-point shooter and really as a catch and shoot three-point shooter. But that's not what we've seen. He's made catch and shoot threes. He's made threes off the dribble. He's driven into the lane. He's taken the ball to the basket. I mean, he has really had a heck of an offensive game.
He's had 23 points on 15 shots. And again, like almost always with him, has not turned the ball over.
And Stan had 20 points against Troy with 6 assists and a couple steals on Friday. He's had a marvelous first weekend of the tournament. Ivicic will put in a 3. And Illinois will take a timeout. And 13.2 left. Brad Underwood, who took his team to the Elite Eight last season, is close here. A look at what Kentucky has done over the last couple years, and Mark Pope comes in his first year and is on the cusp of the Sweet 16.
He certainly is, and amazing accomplishment. They've done it without their second best player, Jackson Robinson, out.
Long pass, Owe has it, Boswell can't get him, and a foul on Jonas.
So not only is Brea a tremendous shooter, but he can throw that baseball pass. And now, every basketball player can't do that.
No.
You know, a lot of coaches early in the year, they line everybody up on the baseline and see who can.
Well, the other thing I like, and I've always thought late in the games, whether it's just to get the ball in or whether you need a scoring play, you need an inbounder who is not afraid. He was not afraid to turn the ball over, had confidence. A lot of guys won't pull the trigger, and so they miss open people. I was really lucky as an NBA coach. I had one of the best inbounders ever in Hito Turkoglu, and part of it was he just had no fear whatsoever. If somebody busted open, he got him the ball.
It's Boswell racing the other way, and the 3 is away, no. Inside grabbed, and Kentucky is going to win it. The Wildcats are going to the Sweet 16. And now a date awaits them Friday in Indianapolis against their nemesis in the SEC, the Tennessee Volunteers.